welcome to another episode of Afro Scientific Spirituality. My name is Sefe West. If this is your first time on the channel, you're highly welcome. This is the place where we separate the facts from the fiction, the science from the superstitions, and the concept from the misconceptions about African spirituality. Today, I will be talking about a very important topic, which is the subject of sex and spirituality. This is a very controversial topic that is filled with a lot of misconceptions. This is a very controversial topic filled with a lot of misconceptions. Today, I want to talk about my views on this subject, and I want us to talk about sexual orientations and spirituality, and what is the right sexual behavior that somebody needs to have when it comes to spirituality. Does sex affect spirituality? Does it diminish your spiritual power or acumen? Or how is the practice of sex related to spirituality? And what are sexually transmitted demons? And a lot more. So let's dive in. Before we proceed, I would like to let you know that what I'm saying here on this channel on this topic is my own observation and opinion on this issue. It's not the general consensus of the spiritual community, especially the African spiritual community. Every spiritualist have their own view. I used to think that they all have a certain kind of view on this subject. When I became a practitioner, I discovered that everybody holds their own view. Some people believe that to be a spiritualist, you need to have a high sense of moral character when it comes to sex. Some people think otherwise. So I want to state this from my own view and opinion. So the first thing I want us to talk about is that to be a spiritualist, do you need to, what kind of sexual behavior must you have? The general consensus of belief is that many spiritualists and many religious people view sex as an evil thing. They view sex as a dirty thing. They view sex as something for mundane people. That if you want to become a spiritualist, you need to abstain from sex as much as possible. You need to not be having sex. That is when you are clean. That is when you are pure. That is when the spirits can easily come and talk to you and be around you because you don't have sex. You are above the average human. You are like God. You are like Jesus. You know this Christian mentality that Jesus Christ never got married, and many people think that Jesus Christ was a virgin till he died, that he was the Son of God, so you don't need to have sex with a mortal woman. So you see many religious people, they try to emulate this philosophy. They try to behave like Jesus Christ. They try to prove that to be spiritually superior or to be a very strong spiritualist, you don't need to be having sex, or at least you will have only one woman. So they pretend that they don't have sex, that sex is evil, that sex is sinful. They give you this head that they don't have sex. But is it really true? Well, my own opinion, sex is not an evil thing. Okay? God created sex so that man and woman can have companionship. They can be able to produce children. They can have something that will bring them together, something that they can enjoy. At the same time, can also help them to bring comfort, to make this life more livable, more enjoyable for them, more better for them. And the way souls come into this world is when a man and a woman come together. That is the only way anybody that want to come to this life can come in. People don't just fly from the sky like an Schwarzenegger in Terminator that just drop from the sky and you start living. It's impossible. For spirits to come into this world, wherever they are coming from, any realm they are coming from, they must be born. Okay, they must pass through this birth process. And before they will pass through that process, a man and a woman needs to come together to have sex. So if sex is an evil thing, then God is certainly evil. Okay? And besides, God that made sex must have tested it to see if it's a good thing. So God will be somebody that is also engaging in a form of sexual relationship to be able to create something like this. So I will say God also has sex. You cannot be making a product whereby you don't test the product. It does not make sense. You cannot be a gun manufacturer, you don't test the gun. You cannot be a car manufacturer, you don't drive a car. You don't know how the car works. So you cannot create something like sex that you don't know what it can do. So I don't see sex as an evil thing. And when it comes to the realm of spirituality, we don't view sex as an evil thing. Okay. Then this kind of moral ladder that people are putting the practice of sex, that as a spiritualist, your sexual life should be restricted. This is a very, very big lie. Okay. Your sexual life do not have to be restricted. Okay. Your sexual orientation do not have to be restricted. In fact, sex is something that actually helps to express the true nature, the true desires of the individual. Okay. So it's something that people need to relax, to reduce stress, to bring out their true nature, to connect them to that aspect of them that is the active principle of creation, that orgasmic power of the creator. You can experience it during the time of sex, especially during the time of climax. The feeling that people have, that feeling of euphoria, of a general sense of being, of wellness, of ecstasy, of happiness, that thing is something out of this world. The power that that thing contains is something that is very, very unfathomable. It's an aspect of creation at the same time. It's an aspect of ecstatic experience. There's one word that these Catholic people use. I cannot pronounce the word, but it is something that I would say is celestial. It is divine. Okay, so it is not an evil thing. So having more than one sex partner is not a bad thing. Okay, in today's modern world, many people think that if somebody is promiscuous, the person is an evil person, the person is a bad person, the person is a sinful person. It is not necessarily the case. The person is just expressing their sexual desire and freedom. Okay, nothing bad will happen to that person, but the only problem is that this person will be exposing themselves to a lot of people, which is not the good thing. And into this modern society and the culture that we have created for ourselves, we frown on that kind of behavior, especially where people are trying to be mutually exclusive. Okay, but spiritually, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, people are simply here to gather experience, interact with other people, get as much experience as much as possible. It is not viewed as a bad thing, but the connotation of that kind of lifestyle, in the sense of people, it's what will make them view it as a bad thing. Okay, so if somebody have multiple sex partners, it does not affect their spirituality. In some cases, rather, it's also enhances it because it taps into that primal aspect of that person where we call the head, the you call it the essence of chaos, that chaos or primal chaos sphere of creation. That person might be trying to tap into that force to use it for progress, to use it for whatever they want to do, to build their life or to manifest or to express themselves to the fullest of their expression. Okay, so there's a power there that people can also tap into, and this power is also latent, especially with females, because females are giver of life, so they can be able to use this power that they can harness through this aspect. They can use it for creation, they can use it for whatever they want to do. They can also use it for destruction as well. Okay, so sex is I would say one of the highest form of spirituality. There's a whole field of study dedicated to this, In Hinduism, they call it Santra, the spirituality of sex, how to use sex to manifest results, how to use sex for healing, how to use sex for seeing of vision, for astral projection, for different kind of things. There are a vast field of study of what you can be able to use sex for. Okay, there have been cases whereby I have been able to see visions into other people's life or situations during the act of sex. Okay, yeah, I have experienced this kind of thing. It is possible, and people do it. So, sex is not an evil thing, and having more than one sex partner is not an evil thing as well. It is simply human expression of freedom. Okay, this world was supposed to be created to be a paradise where people can be able to enjoy themselves, express themselves to their fullness of pain. But some people have turned it into a place of hell, a place of suffering, and some other people have been able to impose their false sense of morality on other people to restrict their life, to restrict them to this issue of one man, one wife, to restrict their ability to have sex, to express themselves sexually, to to their own fullness, and they call it morals. In my own view, everybody have different capacity. So for you to say that a man must have only one wife or a woman must have only one husband, it is not really right, because what if that person's capacity is more than one person, one partner? So meaning that person will live a very, very unhappy life, right? I know men that have capacity to have more than one woman. Very powerful men, strong men. So men can have up to 4, 5 wives. So for you to restrict that person to just one woman, it means that person will not be or may not be satisfied with that relationship. So that person will be forced to be going outside the relationship to sleep with other people, which is not so good. So better you create a system whereby it can accommodate that person to become more comfortable. Same thing we have with some women. So women have a very uh, high capacity as well. One man may not be enough for them. So you cannot just force them into one relationship to tie them to one person forever. Say that's the way they're supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like that. That person will be very unhappy in that relationship. She will be forced to go out to satisfy herself. And this is not a bad thing. So this false notion of one man, one wife that the world is currently operating on it's causing a lot of problems, because human beings, we are not all created equal. Okay, we are not all created equal. In order to solve this problem, I will say that you should find people that you are compatible, sexually compatible with. Okay, if you are this kind of person, you know that you have a very high capacity. If you are a man, you should also find a woman that have a very high capacity as well, so that both of you can rhyme together. There are some people that naturally they don't like sex. They have a very low libido or capacity for that as well. Then that person go and marry somebody with a high capacity. Of course, that marriage will not last. One of them will run out of the marriage. We have seen these cases. I've seen cases in Africa whereby some men will get married to a woman and then they can't perform. One case, I see extreme case, the woman returned the bride price within a week when he discovered that the man was not trying at all. This is these people that believe there's no sex before marriage. Then he married the woman. The woman have a very, very high capacity. He discovered that this man cannot do more than one round a day. The woman was so disappointed. The woman just told the man that my father will return the bride price to you. I'm leaving. She left the marriage instantly. She didn't even waste time. We have seen cases whereby women will not allow their husbands to touch them, that this husband is doing too much. They have been forced into this marriage. And these religious bodies are saying that they cannot divorce based on this. They need to bear. So what do you come this life to be uncomfortable, to be unhappy because of the laws of other people? I don't believe in such things, okay? In life, I don't believe that anything should come between you and your happiness. Your happiness should be first and foremost. So the way the world is being operated with this false sense of morality, in spirituality, it does not make sense, okay? As a spiritualist, you need to be self-expressive in order to reach your full capacity. You cannot deny your desires. Denying them is only limiting you, limiting your capacity, making you unhappy. So what is good for you is what you will do. So your sex life and your spiritual life must be in harmony for you to come into your full power or your full potentials. Okay, there are some people that they don't like sex. So because you don't like sex, don't mean you must impose that character on everybody around you. Okay, you cannot impose your own belief or your own personality on everybody. Okay, me, I cannot impose my own on everybody. If I smoke, does not mean that everybody must smoke. If I don't smoke, must not mean that everybody must not smoke. Okay, you should allow people to do their thing based on what they like to do, to express themselves and to feel happy and to feel that excitement or ecstasy. So this is the way I see this sex thing. Sex have nothing to do with your sex life must not interfere with your spiritual life, and it does not dictate your spiritual morality or your spiritual power. For this, what I see with the sex and spirituality is that there is this thing we call sexually transmitted demons. Same we have sexually transmitted disease. Okay, when two people come together, they make love. There's kind of an exchange of energy, a transmission of energy between those people because it's an intimate thing. As an intimate thing, it's like the most intimate thing you can do with another human being on this earth. Okay, the act of undressing, exposing each other, seeing each other's nakedness, and actually going into each other is so it's as intimate as it gets. Okay, it's as intimate as it gets. So spiritually, you're also exposed to spiritual influence from each other. Quite naturally, if that one partner have sort of STD, the other person will naturally catch it as well. If someone of this partner have what they call this sexually transmitted demons, it can also go into the other partner. Okay, that is why we see in cases whereby if somebody is cursed, maybe the cause of poverty, a cause of bad luck, ill luck, and you sleep or somebody slept with that kind of person, those causes or bad luck can also transfer to you, depending on the kind of spiritual defenses or protection that you have. If you don't have any spiritual protection on you, those causes that is following that person, some of them will transfer to you. This is what we call sexually transmitted demons. Same thing if that person has some good luck, good head or favor that is going with them. By you sleeping with that person too, some of those good luck, those blessings will naturally transmit to you. Okay, this is how it works. That's why you see cases whereby you will see some men or some women they get into a relationship, they met somebody new. As they start sleeping together, you will find that one of the partner will start bosoming. Somebody that don't have money will start getting money, things will start working well for them due to the very close contact they have with this person that is filled with so much blessing and positivity. It will transfer to their life. Things will start working for them. Everything will be going on. They'll be looking more beautiful, more charming, more happy. Life will be going well for them because they have been able to tap into some of those blessings from that person that they are actually sleeping with. We see this a lot in many relationships. It goes side by side, men and women. We tap things from each other. Sometimes you get laid with somebody, the next you get some creative ideas that you can use for your business or whatever you want to do, it transfers. There are cases whereby you see people sleep with somebody, then money will start getting shot in their hands, bad things and bad luck will start happening to them. We have seen those kind of relationship. This is where we say the person is catching some sort of sexually transmitted demons from that relationship. Okay, so it goes both ways. So you have to be careful with the kind of people that you sleep with. There's a saying that if you meet somebody, then you find out that the person's problem is more than your own, you should not sleep with them. Okay, there's a saying like this. There's a saying we say in Africa like this because That person will add his own problem to your own and it will put you down. This is very, very true. So you have to be careful the kind of people that you sleep with, okay, so that you don't catch this. But if you feel that you are strong enough, you can be able to withstand these kind of things, you should not be afraid. There are also cleansing that people do when they sleep with somebody. We have different kinds of sexual cleansing in order not to catch these sexually transmitted demons. There are some spiritual baths that people do after meeting such people. They bath with some kind of herbs. I have talked about some of these herbs before. You do one or two spiritual baths to wash any kind of thing that is attached to that person. You bathe it from your body so that those things will not affect you. Whatever negativity that person is carrying should not affect you. You bathe it and then you move on. So you need to know about these herbs that people use for this kind of situation. Many times some men have been very rich, things will be going well for them. Then they start sleeping with different kind of women, carrying a lot of women. Then next they meet one of this kind of woman that have very, very bad mojo. And then everything start going wrong for them. The whole life will just crash. They will not know where the problem is coming from. We have seen this kind of situations many times as well. This is part of the reason people discourage people from sleeping around with so many people. Because when you're sleeping around with so many people, you are catching things from people, you are exchanging energies, good stuff, bad stuff, and you don't know what you are getting from some kind of people. And when you meet with a very wrong person, things can go totally south for you. Okay, so this is the main disadvantage with having many partners. Okay, it's not that spiritually anything is wrong with it. It is what you are going to expose yourself to, the dangers behind you are going to be exposing yourself. So that is the main problem. You might get these sexually transmitted demons from these people. You can also get the medical aspect as well. Then also too, in today's modern society, people are kind of have this mentality that you have to be exclusive. People kind of praise morality that they want you to be a role model. They want to live life, or they want people that will be a role model for the society. Okay, so if you have too many partners, especially as a woman, it is frowned at. They believe a woman should belong to a man. Okay, but a man can have many women, he will be still viewed as a superstar. People will respect him. They will even give him titles for having many women. But a woman having many men is the opposite of that. Okay, it's the opposite. So people still frown at women for this very thing. But both man and woman commit the same sin. In ancient times, women are not viewed in such a light that a woman having many partners is a bad person. People don't really view it as such. There are some deities, female deities or dark goddesses that are fully into the expression of sexual union, dedicated to sex and the creation of life. In time past, these temples used to have women, whereby men go there and have sex in the temple, just like where we have shrines that people go to smoke weed. We have temples in the ancient times where people can go, especially in India, ancient Africa, ancient Egypt, or Kush. We have this in West Africa. Deities that are dedicated to this, the spirit of sexual expression and different aspect of sexuality, whereby people go to those temples to experience ecstasy, to experience to heal, sexual healing. I will say sexual healing. Let me say it like that. Nowadays, they will say this place are like a red light district or a house of how would I call it these days? So, like a club. Okay. So humanity have moved to a place whereby they frown on that kind of thing, but it's an aspect of humanity that we cannot deny. It helps a lot. It solves many problems in the society. There are many men whereby they are lonely, they are having issues with women, or they cannot be able to have a girlfriend, they can't afford a girlfriend. but they still need to have sex. So they need to go to such places to relax, to chill out, and to satisfy themselves. So those places are really, really needed. So for me, I don't think places like red light districts or houses whereby stripper club, or you can say prostitute houses, I don't see it as a bad place. Okay, in fact, if you ask me, I will say those places are even better than churches. Okay, for me, I will say it's better than a house whereby you can get where women actually work in that kind of setting is better than a church, because what they do in church is to tell you lies from morning to night. But these places, they don't tell you lies. You see the raw, naked truth, and you can get a lot of healing from that kind of place. You can get a lot of happiness, a lot of satisfaction, a lot of it makes life worth living. So for me, these people, they are not doing a bad thing. They are actually doing a service to humanity that is really, really needed. It solves many problems for so many men. It solves problem of poverty, of rape, of so many issues that have to do with sexual psychological health. These places are needed to solve those kind of problems. So we cannot say those places are bad. They are highly needed, and I think that they should be protected and they should be preserved, because they are playing a vital role in society, in shaping our society. They are also places of creativity and inspiration as well. So for me, I don't see anything wrong with those places. I don't see anything wrong with prostitution. I don't see anything wrong with it. Okay. So this is my view. I know many of you are going to cancel me for saying this, but spiritually, nothing is wrong with it. You have to have the sense of maturity. Okay, it plays a vital role in society. If we don't have these places, there will be a lot of crime. There will be a lot of crime. So nature has to express itself. Before we start having the union of marriage, what were people doing? You should ask yourself these questions. Society have always been surviving. People have always been surviving, and we will always survive. So we need to come to terms with this truth. We cannot keep ignoring it. Okay? This issue of this so-called morality value of one man, one wife, it is a lie. For me, it's an aberration. Everybody have different capacity. So you cannot just put everybody in one box and say this is the way. It is not so. You should let people express themselves to their own capacity. Okay, this is my view of the whole thing. I would like to know about your view on this very subject, because I know it's a controversial subject. Okay, so this is what I have for you today. Questions and comments, welcome once again. Like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell close to the subscribe button so you'll be the first to get my videos as soon as I release them. If you are interested in reading my book on quantum physics and African spirituality, it is here waiting for you. If you want to know more about African spirituality, you can register at my website, The River of Knowledge. I am there waiting for you. If you want to do your spells, your X's, sparks, love spell, and consultations, my number is on the screen. So with that being said, I wish you a very wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you in the next video as usual. So take care and bye. Peace.